Hello, it's Greg Allison with Green Greetings, coming to you on 2 April 22. Time on deck is 23:02, 100 hours Central Daylight Time. My friends, I got a somber possibility to throw at you tonight. Something has come to my attention that is very potentially disconcerting. Let's hope this is not true. Let's hope this is not going to come to pass. But my friend inventor Lee Wheelbarger, has informed me that he has got reports from Langley, which is a CIA headquarters in Washington, D.C., just off the Potomac River on the south side, that the Russian troops are taking antidotes for sarin gas, that they have antidotes for sarin gas. Now, the first antidote for sarin gas is, of course, atropine, but there may be other things they might take ahead of time. But why would they suddenly be taking antidotes for sarin gas? Hello, Catherine. How you doing? So I am live tonight. I'm live tonight so I can get this out to you real fast because I got to water my greens and hit the hay because I got to be up at 5 a.m. active on this computer here in the morning. So I'm going to try to make this a quick cast, but I do have a lot of material to cover here. I'm going to try to get through it quick. So pardon me if I'm not looking at the chat room a lot, guys. I'm just going to try to blitz through this stuff. But guys, here's what we're talking about. I am going to first just say that there's reasons I think that you won't see a nuclear attack, or maybe not as likely to see a nuclear attack inside of Ukraine. Why, in fact, the Russian nuclear drills may have been aimed, I think they're aimed toward NATO and the United States. Yeah, it's getting scarier. You're right, Cisco kid, pardon me. It's been a long time no see, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Richard Bell. Guys, let me get into this. I'm going to show y'all some stuff here real quick. I'm really concerned here, and I hope these concerns don't bear fruit. Some things you don't want to bear fruit, and this is one of them. So let's go over here and look at this. Of course, I'm going to show you all this in some view charts. In fact, let me stop this. Let me go to the view charts first. I'm going to show you why I think the nuclear attack is less likely. La, 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 la. There we go. No nukes for Ukraine. Hey, that might sound good, right? But a gas attack might be an offer. The nerve gas attack might be what they got up their sleeve. So, yeah, like I said, the nukes are for NATO, not Ukraine. They come up with some nice charts, right? That's kind of scary. As we know, the Russians had surrounded Kyiv, and suddenly they're backing away. But as they're backing away, they're suddenly taking the well, you don't take atropine ahead of time. There's other stuff you might take ahead of time. Atropine's an after the fact antidote, but the troops are being equipped with atropine. Now, Kyiv doesn't have the means, nor within their homeland, possibly launch a gas attack. So what's going on? This is why I think that I'm not going to see nuclear attacks on Russia, on Ukraine, but Russia, is because all these pipelines from Russia that are providing gas to Europe, where they're making, billions of dollars a year, are going through Ukraine. And if they nuke this, there was a test the Russians did, I mentioned in a recent video, where it was a 300 kiloton test, which is far from your largest nukes. That test generated 1,600 to 3,600 volts, amps in the pipelines and wires. Huge amperages would do severe damage to pipelines. It would catch the pumping stations on fire, among other things. So this is these arteries, these pipelines, are the economic lifeblood of Russia. So I think they might be a little reluctant to use nukes. Now, sure, the battlefield nukes are very low yield. They can burst them close to the surface of the ground and limit a lot of that. But still, there's another reason that they're unlikely to use nukes, although they still might. But another reason is, now I'm saying within Ukraine, now they might be more likely to use them elsewhere. But there's also a treaty from 1994 that Russia and the United States signed. And I'm told the United States is actually treaty bound to attack Russia with nukes if Russia attacks Ukraine with nukes. Now, I don't know if I haven't seen this detail, guys. But anyway, yeah, let's hope this don't happen. All right, I'm going to skip out of these charts. We're going to go to some of these articles. I was going to show you guys just a minute ago. And no, not there. Let's see. Hang on. am going up the wrong screen. Ding, ding, ding. There we go. What's that? Too many things popping up. Here we go. Share screen. This is a Budapest agreement right here from 1994, 5 December 1994. You can see the president of Ukraine, Mr. Kravchuk, I don't know, I can't say that, Yeltsin, and Clinton. And it turned out that this Budapest Memorandum on Security Assurances comprises of 3 identical political agreements signed by Budapest and Hungary on the 5th of December, and Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine to this treaty here. So these signatures came along, and that actually Bill Clinton flew over there to give extra assurances to Ukraine to get them to sign them, because Ukraine had the 3rd largest nuclear weapons cache after the Soviet Union fell apart. And they weren't too ready to just give them up all at once, even though they had the codes to control them. They might have re-engineered them if they had so desired, but they chose not to. So the 3rd largest nuclear weapon stockpile was in Ukraine. And Clinton actually flew over there to make a last-minute appeal to the head of Ukraine to sign it. Here is Clinton and Yeltsin together here. So what happened is that there were all kinds of assurances and guarantees made to countries such as Ukraine, especially Ukraine, and they're not all listed in this article. This article references other assurances. And Lee Wheelbarger assures me that those assurances include the United States would respond in kind if Russia nukes Ukraine. Now, I have not seen that part. It's not in this list, but it does. This list does. This article does reference other assurances, so it could well be in the cards there. Now, this is a video that Lee Wheelbarger did earlier today. This is what's concerning me right here. It's this truck. I'm going to show you pictures of this truck in a little bit. And here he was still trying to figure out what it was. He already knew about the sarin gas antidotes that are being given out to Russian troops, but he didn't yet know what this truck was. He found out later.
I've been studying this conflict for years. I've never, ever seen this truck. And the crazy part about it is I hear
now I'm gonna stop it. There's a big impression right here, a big circular impression right here. There's a canopy over the truck so you can't see it. There is a spacer in here. I saw it from another angle as it showed it going by earlier, and then there's a protrusion over here. So clearly there's other stuff under here. This is a cover. But I think the circular aspect of this, of course, the front end of this truck is dead giveaway, the exhaust system out here. But yeah, he thought it looked like a knuckle boom crane. But I'll show you what it is a little bit.
You know, it's not an ammo truck. It is not an ammo truck. Okay. I don't know what it is. I've never seen one of these.
Well, we know what it is now. This is the TMS 65U, Tango Michael Sierra 65 uniform. I'm gonna show it to you in a minute.
So the crazy part about it is I get the intel brief of troops are being issued antitoxin or whatever the hell it is for sarin gas. And literally 6 hours later, I see this truck. Now, what it is, I have no idea.
Okay, he's asking us people to find out here. So this is on the Lee Wheelbarger's channel, one on KLW World News. This is on YouTube. You can check it out. Subscribe to his channel, KLW World News. Just search for that on YouTube. He does a lot of live casts of this, and also inventor Lee Wheelbarger. So check that out. But I'm going to show you what it is, but guys, it is right here. This is from Rico Monkey. That's the same front end. This is the exhaust. This is the big round thing on the tent. And what was sticking out of the back, probably part of this thing right here. And what is this? It's part of a big, I believe, 13 jet engine. Now, this thing is used for decontamination, but also puts out a fog. It can be used to contaminate just as well with whatever agent they fill into this tank. This thing can put out an aerosol fog that is huge. This thing could fog a city practically by itself. It is a very menacing system when you consider what it is and the fact that it seems to be going into Ukraine as everybody else seems to be going out. Essentially, this engine could be put up at an angle on this thing rolling, and whoever's in it will not get whatever's coming out of it. So I'm going to show you some other pictures of it. That's just one set. We are in the war zone. Russia uses these crazy antique jet engine equipped trucks to blast away chemical agents. Yeah, it can be used for decontamination, but it can also aerosolize something like sarin gas. Now there's not really shooting out. Here we go. This thing can put out a heck of a cloud, ginormous cloud. You might recall China was using something like this to spray antiseptic in some of their cities right after the bug broke out. If you might remember, there's some jet engines under test for the development of this thing. Here's another picture. This is from Wiki Commons. There is that thing on the side that Lee thought looked like a knuckle boom. Here that is, here this is, the front is identical, this is identical, the front end's identical. And it's a very characteristic truck, far different from any of the others in their fleet. Very interesting. Or far like any others also in that convoy that he was showing at that time. So there it is, guys. What is it? So, hey, by the way, right now, if this sarin gas is used, we're on the verge of World War III, my friends. So you better be planting your garden. You better be getting ready to grow seeds. You better get seeds you can save if in case you can't plant for a few years. A good time to buy your seeds, but right now is also a good time to plant and buy seeds to hold back in reserve just in case. And check out my links to Truly Mark to do that. So let's go over here and look at this other stuff, guys. Sarin gas is nasty, very nasty. It's extremely toxic. See, this is a nerve agent. It's extremely toxic, extremely toxic. It takes 1 to 10 minutes of inhalation. If you get a lethal dose in 1 to 10 minutes, you're done. You're over. You get paralysis. It affects the nerves to your lungs. And furthermore, you can be, your eyes will dilate. The pupils of your eyes will dilate at first. You may get diarrhea. You will probably mess your britches and your runny nose, and wet your pants all at the same time. And you go into convulsions. You go into spasms. You get to twitching hard like somebody with a grand mal seizure. I've seen videos of animals that had nerve agents administered upon them. The results were horrific to see, very horrific. That they tested this stuff on animals. The videos of it were very, very upsetting. You can't breathe. You die of asphyxiation from inability to breathe, and you're gone in 1 to 10 minutes. It's a horrible, painful way to pass away. Very nasty. Yeah, there's somebody testing a rabbit. Yeah, I've seen rabbits, goats, other animals testing them. Here's where we had them in an Honest John missile. I remember, what was it? Nicolas Cage was in a movie on Alcatraz Island with a bunch of those little bomblets trying to save San Francisco in some movie way back when. But anyway, so that stuff is real. But a truck like that would fog out a lot more than a warhead like this. It would be far more effective dispensation method than that for getting stuff into a city, into the high rises. How are they going to slip that in and operate it? I don't know, guys. It sounds somewhat problematic. But so the biological countermeasures, like I said, are typically atropine. But apparently there's this stuff here. It is pyridostigmine. I don't know. I can't pronounce that. A bromide. I'm not a pyridostigmine. I don't know. I can't say that. This is something that was used as a pre-treatment for a nerve agent known as Soman. Now, Soman is a lot like a sarin gas. Now, here's the pre-treatment that they're talking about here. This is a lot like sarin gas, by the way. Excuse me, that other gas, Soman. So it could be this pre-treatment would also work possibly. I mean, they have the same, they affect the same things, the same neurotransmitters as sarin. Soman has the same kind of effect. So it may be that that will work also for sarin gas, or maybe they're not going to use sarin gas. Maybe they're looking at some Soman. The sarin gas, the thing about it is it's very volatile. It will vaporize from a liquid into a vapor very fast, which makes it an effective weapon, and that people can absorb it through their lungs. If you can get it on your skin, it'll mess up. If it's in your clothes can be given out dangerous dosages of that for up to 30 minutes as it outgasses, as the volatility breaks it away. So there you go, my friends. This is some of the stuff we're looking at. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to come back in here and see what you guys are saying in the chat room. And we're going to go. I'm making it a short night tonight. We got 105 in here. I'll try to catch up with chats. Hey, thank you for the super chat there, Farva. Thank you very much for that. Inventor Lee Wheelbarger. I tried to call him. I gave him an invite to this meeting. I sent him actually an invite. He wanted me to go on live with him earlier, and he called me, and I had not done dinner yet. I'd actually ordered the dinner and had to go pick it up. And so I tried to call him when I got back, and we just didn't sync it up. I sent him a meeting invite for this meeting. He might actually, he could chime into this meeting any second. I did send him a meeting invite. He probably wanted to invite me into this meeting. But guys, I got to go up one of my microphones and hit the, hey, oh, he's calling me right now. Hang on, guys. Let me see.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, I'm live right now talking about this stuff you found. I'm giving you credit for it too. I showed a little bit of your video. So you're live over the phone. You're on speaker. You're on speaker. I don't know if they can hear you, but I sent you an email with an invite to the meeting. I'm only going to be in a few more minutes, so I got to run. If you want to come in the room, I will bring you in. I showed a little bit of your video, and I went through talking about sarin gas. I talked about this compound, which could be used potentially as a pre-treatment, how atropine was the actual antidote, and how there's another gas called Soman that may be used instead, that has also this pre-treatment known as pyridostigmine, something like that. Stigmine. It's so that is something they might use. Now that is more known to be used for the Soman gas, but the Soman gas and sarin gas affect the same neurotransmitters. They have a similar activity means, so it might be that could be used for both. And of course, the general antidote is atropine, as you're probably aware of that.
Okay, yeah, and I didn't get your Zoom link. All I got was the link to the Times Soviet era MiG fighter.
What?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Are you serious? Hang on, let me. That's nuts. So maybe I copied something before I sent you the email. I hope not. Let's see if I come in here and bring this up again. Let me see if I find out where to.
But all I got was the Times.
Oh, well, the jet engine. Yeah, they're using that big jet engine in that device here. So let's see. I'm gonna have to respond to my chat room here a minute. Hey, let's see. Try to figure out in Zoom how to redo that then. How to resend the code. So I'll find out where the code's at. Schedule. I'm already scheduled. So how do I do this? Return to meeting. Let me come back to the meeting screen because we got two Zoom screens. Security. Hang on, maybe we can find settings here somewhere. Reactions more. Not stop live stream. Reaction screen. Participants. I think there's a way to invite somebody from in here. I mean, let's see. Trying to find it, Lee. Oh, here it is. It says invite all one contacts. Oh, type to filter. It's not giving me like, say copy invite link. That's what I want. All right. I think I got the invite link copied. I am going to try to email it to you again. Give me a second. I hope this works. So I shut down the email to save memory. It's going to take me a minute to pull it back in. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, bear with me. I'm trying to get Lee re-invited into the room. This is definitely a Zoom link. Hopefully this is going to work, Lee. There you are. Message sent. Whoa, do you want to send it without a subject? Yeah, just send it. Okay, you're going to get one without a subject line. I'm trying to get it to you fast. Sent items. All right, no subject. So you should have it in a minute there, Lee. You should be able to come on board. I was sharing screens here for a minute. I was just going in and reading people's chats. Let's see, Willie Fix-It who's. So Willie Fix-It, what they're concerned with here is sarin gas is antidotes is being distributed to the Russians. This is intel from Lee Wheelbarger. Lee should be joining us here in a minute. And hopefully he probably will have us live on his channel too when he comes in. Are you still on the phone, Lee? He's still on the call, but he's busy. So let's see. I'm trying to read the chat in the meantime. Kathy Pittman, hello. Chewy Weather, good evening. Kenny McBain, that's the year I went to my semi-formal, wow, 1994, yeah. Guys, I was already out of the Army for over a year when that happened. Greg, what's your email? Will mods please drop Greg's own? When do you need my email, Brandy? Brandy, Stomach Cancer Warrior. Brandy, you'll find my email on greengregs.com. Go to greengregs.com. Still don't see Lee coming in the room. What's going on? Sean, I've seen videos of those being used to supposedly disinfect China. Exactly. They used that kind of stuff to disinfect China. And I thank you, Farva, for the same kind of setups. And boy, they can really put out a fog, huge fog. In a city, use of a weapon like this would be catastrophic. It would be awful. It would be mind-boggling. It would be so horrific that, it would tempt the United States to declare war on Russia. Just that alone, it would create such a upset, it'd be so mind-numbing. People would just be sick at their stomachs and mad. It would be mind-boggling. I hope this don't happen. Lee has shared this intel with some of his friends in Ukraine. Hopefully they can locate these trucks and take them out. The truck is, here we go. The truck is a TM9 65 uniform. And Lee is,
okay. Can you hear me, buddy?
I can hear you.
All right. Okay. So let me end the call. Maybe. All right.
Are we also on your network too? Same time?
Yes, you're on my network too, and I've got to turn up your volume here and make sure that my folks can see you. Let me move you over here.
All right. I see your KLW World News screen.
Yeah, I'll have more up for you here in just a second. I'm trying to get.
So if you'd like, I will kind of go through and do a recapitulation of what I showed my channel just a minute ago.
Yeah, that would be great. Now I've got you flipped over, so you're on my channel at the same time.
All right.
Now we're doing it as a private on our end, a roundtable. So we're not sharing all this because we've got a lot of other information that we're going to put out in addition to what you and I are going to talk about.
Okay. Okay.
So we're doing that for our members only on our side.
Okay.
So I want to
Lee's
get
got
into
Lee's got a round table that's a benefit to his subscribers, and there's also a heck of a communication system that he has. So y'all want to check that out. Check out Lee Wheelbarger's channel where he gives you the intro and the invites to join that. KLW World News. Okay, now that said, Lee, I want to walk back through some of the charts I had earlier. And I'm going to start with a PowerPoint chart just real fast. Let me make sure I got it open here. Uh-oh, won't lose my cursor. I got a sticky cursor and sometimes it hangs up and it's like freezing my computer. So I got to be real careful here. So started out with this chart here. I said no nukes for Ukraine. And I mentioned there's probably two reasons for this. One being the treaty you mentioned, and you can discuss that a little bit more here in a minute. I actually pulled up the 1994 treaty Wikipedia. So when Putin was threatening nukes, he wasn't really talking about using them here. He was meaning them for NATO, the U.S. That's what his threat was. Well, you believe that threat had meat behind it, or was empty? As you know, I'll leave that to you to figure out.
I don't think that Putin is going to use nukes, because if he uses nukes, then it's a guaranteed response from the U.S. and the U.K.
Well, I think he's not going to use nukes in Ukraine. That's what I'm saying here. Now,
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he'll use nukes.
What I was saying though is that his threat to use nukes, or it didn't have anything to do with Ukraine. That was toward NATO, not Ukraine. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. And I did mention that I showed this chart showing the invasion forces in Ukraine. And I mentioned that it's allegedly they're pulling back, but you know that you would want to pull your guys back if you were going to do a gas attack. Now, here's another reason why they wouldn't want to nuke Ukraine. Lee, there was a test the Russians did back in what year was that? It was like 1962, where they set off a 300 kiloton device, and they had various communications lines, wires, power lines, phone lines instrumented to measure the current.
Hold
on.
All right, I got it now, I think.
Okay.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I had a heck of an echo for some reason in the conference call here.
Oh, you're coming in loud now. Okay.
Not real sure why, but I did. So I got to try to figure out. All right, so I need to move. Hold on a second. I'm talking over our conference call, or not over the conference call, but over the.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, and everybody on my video is hearing me too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get to what I want to capture, because I need to capture you, Greg. So I think I've got
I
screen
see.
here.
Okay, I'm seeing that.
Hold on.
Screen.
Yeah, I need to move you over here so I can capture you out to all of my people. So you're still there. Oh, wow. I see what's going on. I'm in two separate. Oh, wait a minute.
Look, you had it there.
That's right. Yeah, no, I got it. I got so much going on here at one time here, because I'm trying to do your conference call, my conference call, and then stream it at the same time here.
Yeah, I get it. You're juggling a lot of eggs here. So here's one of the big reasons I think that Russia would be reluctant to use nukes in Ukraine, all other things aside, is their lifeblood, their economic lifeblood is the gas they're selling to Europe. And it's going through Ukraine. And this pipeline going through, it's not one pipeline, it's a network of pipelines going through Ukraine. And I was explaining this 300 kiloton nuclear test that they fired off with instrumented power lines and things like that, telephone lines. They measured currents in those lines of up to 3,600 amps. from like, 1400 amps, 1600 amps to 3600 amps. Huge currents. That is devastating current. 400 amps is a current that you need a hose pipe to conduct. Well, these pipelines would pick those currents up, by the way, especially the L3 component, and it would really detonate pumping stations and all kind of stuff. It would make a colossal mess. It'd take them years to repair. And so Russia would be out of enormous revenue should that happen. Now, it might be they could choose a few places that they don't mind losing it and take out a place or two, especially if it's a low altitude tactical nuke. But it's a very problematic scenario, in my opinion. Now, maybe they will give up and decide they don't need all this. But I just have, I got your treaty part, Lee. But just if ignoring the treaty part, it's hard for me to imagine that in Ukraine they would want to use such weapons, especially in Kyiv, which appears to be surrounded by the main arteries of this pipeline. So, these pipelines go out and supply Europe with energy, guys. This is what the Europeans are reliant on right here. You got Poland up here, and over here is Germany. Guys, I think they will be very reluctant to go into this. Very reluctant. I'm going to stop this share, and I'm going to go into the articles. Give me a second here. I'm going to go to the articles I was talking from, which starts with your treaty you mentioned. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do another share. This is the Budapest Treaty from 5th of December, 1994. And you can see here the president of Ukraine at that time. And Lee, you have to probably help me with this name. I pronounced it correct. I can't even say it. Kravchuk. I don't think that's right. There's too many consonants.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it better than you are.
Yeah, that's just too many consonants piled in together here. You got a VCH. Yeah, that's just a little bit outside of my tongue without hearing it. But here's Yeltsin and Clinton. And of course, it talked about how all this had to do with the non-proliferation treaty that had originally been signed by some of the main powers here. But this is kind of offshoot to try to get Budapest, Hungary, Belarus, and Kazakhstan and Ukraine to give up their nukes. And Ukraine had the third largest nuclear inventory in the world at the time, stockpile. They didn't have the control codes, but they might have re-engineered the stuff to their own advantage, given time. But Ukraine really didn't want to do this at first. And what this don't talk about outside of this particular agreement is said that there are, they had 3 identical agreements, but it also says there are other security assurances, as in other assurances were made. And I don't see those assurances in this article here, Lee, and that may be from what you're talking. So I'm having a hard time seeing where we are treaty bound on this basis to respond in kind with a nuclear weapon. And maybe I'm just missing it, Lee, but there are other agreements that are part of these assurances. So, and they do mention that Clinton had to go over and make a special trip to persuade the president of Ukraine to go along with this, to give up his nuclear weapons. So he made other assurances. That's for sure. That's mentioned. Yeah, here it says Clinton told this guy that not signing would risk major damage to U.S. Ukraine relationship. So he basically forced him into it. But it also somewhere it's mentioned he made other assurances to him. So maybe you've got more on the aspects that would treaty bind us to attacking Russia should they attack. But here, this treaty said that Russia, United States, United Kingdom would not attack Ukraine. That was part of it.
Right.
So, Russia's already violated this Budapest.
Exactly.
Treaty. Russia has already violated this. This memorandum prohibited, and it shows This memorandum prohibited the Russian Federation, United Kingdom, and the United States from threatening or using military force or economic coercion against Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan, except for self-defense or otherwise in accordance with the Charter for the United Nations. And I don't think anything that's happened there rises to that occasion. So it's already a case that Russia has violated these terms. It's hard to believe that what they've done is for self-defense. So I know some people got other claims, but it's kind of bogus. And I showed here a little bit of your video with the truck there, and I explained to them how, you were talking about this protrusion here, but notice how round this is, Lee. Notice how round that is. That's the tank right there. This is your jet engine device. And, this little, what you thought was a knuckle here, that shows up over here, right here. It's just looks like a tire, and something, but it's not a tire.
Yep.
That's right here. I don't know, maybe the spare tire.
Yeah, that is a spare tire.
That is a spare tire. That's exactly what. But there's that. Well, I just dropped. There's your tank. That's the round protuberance. And then here's the jet engine. This comes from Rico Monkey, which likes to show military hardware. The Warzone's got an article on. This is the first place I found it. Yeah, there it is. There's your spare tire. It's got exactly the same exhaust, the front end, the same windows, and the other trucks in your video do not match. Here's the jet engine that they got mounted on it. Let's see. I think
And of all the vehicles that I've seen go into Ukraine, this is the only one like this.
Yeah, look at this. Here it is fogging right here.
Yep. It would do
This
the
is
exact
similar.
same thing with chemical warfare.
Yeah, it can put chemical warfare out just as easily as it can decontaminate. A fog like that, sarin gas, would be devastating in a city. It would kill thousands and thousands of people in a horrific death. It would be absolutely horrific. And here it is from Wiki Commons. This is a side view with a spare tire there. Now, those are huge tires.
Yeah.
Huge tires.
Can you hear me, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just
I
want to
heard
make
you
sure
say
you
yeah.
can.
Yeah, I heard you say
Okay.
yeah. There's the jet engine that will be used to disperse these agents. And then here I went into oh shoot, my Zoom is fighting me. Sarin gas.
Yep.
I mentioned it's a nerve agent. The sarin gas, the antidote is typically atropine, but that's what you take after it. So it starts out giving you your pupils constrict. You get a runny nose. You start having loss of body functions, vomiting, messing your pants, and you go into the twitching, the spasms, like a grand mal seizure. I've seen videos of animals that have been given agents like this, and it's very ugly, scary, awful looking death. They go into all kind of jerking seizures, and they can't breathe, and you die. Once you've inhaled a lethal dose, you die in 1 to 10 minutes. It is very quick. The thing to do is to get that atropine shots. We used to carry them in our gas mask, and we'd have 2 of them. You had to give 2 of the injections for this stuff, all at once, to shoot it in your leg, and hope that it got in your body fast enough to stop this other stuff from messing you up. You could still have brain damage. That's really nasty stuff.
And actually getting a shot of atropine is not that much better than getting gassed.
You're right. Well, here's another potential countermeasure that can be used beforehand for certain certain agents like Soman. And since Soman acts a lot like almost identical to sarin gas, this might work for sarin gas. So they may be giving this out to their troops to use ahead of time. And it's this pyridostigmine. Pyridostigmine. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Probably not. Bromine. So it's a pyridostigmine bromine. I don't know. I assume I got somewhat kind of sort of close. At least it starts with the P and ends with a mine. But anyway, bromine, I can handle that. So this stuff was used as a pre-treatment for Soman by our military in the first Gulf War. So there is a history of a pre-treatment for an agent similar to sarin, and this might work for sarin also. So this is your pre-treatment here.
And it may have been part of the problem with the Gulf War disease.
Well, I've had friends that took that Ciprio, and I got one that she's had ulcers from her mouth all the way through her GI tract where it ends. Bad ulcers from just not nonstop ever since she took that stuff. It's really destroyed her life practically. She's still having problems with that stuff. Ciprio, given.
Yeah, I have a cousin that's a Marine who was over there and got the shot, and he's had neurological problems ever since.
Yeah, she'd probably been better off if she'd got the stinking anthrax in the first place than some. But anyway,
And somebody in my chat says this is the same thing that was used in Syria. Yes.
Soman,
No, the
sarin,
sarin, yeah.
wouldn't surprise me. Well, here's Soman. It's also a nerve agent. Extremely toxic, so it's very similar. Now, one thing about sarin gas is it's very volatile, Lee. It will evaporate very fast, which makes it a vapor that you can inhale. I mean, if they're spraying out liquid droplets and they're making it fog out, well, it's going to fog out even more because as it turns to vapor, it spreads out even more and it's very easy to inhale. If you soak it up through your skin, you get it too, Lee. You can take it, you can get it into your skin. You can inhale it. The inhaling is faster, but either is very bad. And even clothing will outgas this stuff for like 30 minutes. And it could be lethal off of clothing. So if you pick a dead guy up and you're handling his clothing, trying to handle his body, you might get it. So yeah, this is nasty, nasty stuff. So it's not just going to kill the first wave of people. It's going to kill the ones that come in to treat them for a while until it all evaporates. Now this stuff will evaporate out since it's so volatile.
Well, that's the great part that they like about this.
They can
is
use
the fact that you can attack them, and 2 hours later you can go in, and the only thing you got to deal with is the bodies.
Exactly. Here's some other stuff.
There's no odor, there's no color, there's no taste. You're dead before you know it. And then if you get a big dose of it, you're dead in 2 minutes. If you get a light dose of it, you're dead in 10.
Well, that's it. So, Lee,
I got a video of it that we're going to show here after you're done.
Lee, this stuff's ugly. It is bad. It is. It would be extremely horrific to see this used in a city. There was something got used in in Iraq and then Kurdistan by Saddam Hussein. It killed a few hundred people. There were some things that happened in Syria. A lot of people think that was a false flag caused by our own people, and to give them a justification to go into Syria. And I don't know. I think that's a possibility, but I think that's a good possibility. But in this case, if they go in and spray this stuff in a big city, I don't think anything like that has ever been done. It will be so horrific. The outcry from people seeing and hearing about this is going to be unbelievable. This alone, in my humble opinion, could escalate real fast to nuclear war. If they do that, then they are on a slippery slope. This is a mind-boggling threat if they go in and do something like that, Lee. What do you think?
And I think they're lining up to do it. And the reason that I think that they're lining up to do it, it's just like the phone call I just got off of with my representative, one of my representatives with Ukraine.
Oh, what did he tell you?
He said, Lee, he said, how do you know they're not sending the trucks in for decontamination? I said, if you were sending the trucks in for decontamination, you would send more than one.
Why? What are they decontaminating? There's nothing to decontaminate yet.
Right.
A decontamination is done in the expectation of having an agent to decontaminate. If you're
Right.
not using nuclear devices and chemical warfare or biological warfare, you got nothing to decontaminate. And these are really more of a chemical decontaminate system than a bio. It's not really effective for that too much, but maybe a little bit. But we do know the Chinese are spraying their cities with antiseptics or something to kill viruses, antivirals. But Lee, this stuff is a mess. I'm sitting there looking at my chat room now, trying to see what people are saying here. It would be crazy if they use sarin gas, Agent Orange, mustard gas, and more. Yeah, any of that Taz would be very crazy. So let's see. I'm trying to get some of my chat in here. I'm gonna have to leave here in a little bit, Lee. So what, Lee? You got
That's
something
fine.
to share with us here? You got a more turmoil than.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to. First off, let me go over here. Now let me see if this will do this and if it changes it everywhere. All right, so you get that map, right?
Map. I don't see it.
Am I sending you a map?
Wait a minute. Oh, you sent me one by email?
Hold on, no. Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta figure out.
Oh,
So
wait,
you're on this one here.
16%. Oh, I'm looking at my PowerPoint now. Excuse me. Hang on.
I'm sharing.
Let me go back to my screen. I see it.
All right, yeah, but I gotta friggin' since I already did it, I gotta disable it and do it again.
Oh, what was that?
It's because I turned it off. No.
Right row.
All right, so you still see it?
Yeah, I see it right now.
I still got the map. Okay, all right. So that's what I'm sharing out so everybody can see that. So this is the problem. The truck was seen just south of Gamel. Okay. And so when you zoom out, the border's right here. And when you measure it, oh, don't do that right here. From Gamel down here to Kiev, it's only 120 miles. That's 4 hours in a truck, 3 hours in a truck.
So Lee, that thing could be there. How long ago?
Or anywhere north of there.
Well, how long ago was that video made, Lee?
Yesterday.
What could be there already?
Right. I mean, they would have to come through the Ukrainians, but the issue is if you set it up at the border, you knew what the wind direction was, then you got a real problem. And what I want to do here is, let me get another, I want to get the video of the truck is what I want to do. And I want to play it for you.
They may take it in as close as they get it to Kyiv. That's what I think.
That's right. That's, I'm with you.
I don't think they'll do it from the border. I think they'll get it as close as possible.
So here is, let me bring this over here. So here's the chassis of the truck itself in a 3D model. And so we Victor Mann tweeted this out for us, so you can actually take a look at how the entire frame of the truck and get a good view of it.
Wow.
You've got the yeah, it's like a 5-ton. That's what I referred to it as. And I told everybody, I was like, look, it's easy to spot. It's got this air intake on the right front fender.
Absolutely.
Okay. And it's bigger than any of the other trucks because it's like a 5-ton running with deuce and a halves. So when you see them side by side, it's easy to tell one of these trucks.
Yeah, I used to drive a deuce and a half.
Yeah. And so here is the truck itself that we blew up to show everybody what it looks like. And you can see this dent out on the side and another dent out back here. And then it has a very, very unique rear end on this truck. So the aft end of it,
come back in from that protrusion that you pointed to originally, and you can see that round area.
Right.
That round area, just
here.
Right there. Exactly. Yeah, that's the tank right there.
Yeah, that's the tank. Yeah. Yep, that's the tank. And then back here, you can see the ring around the jet engine is protruding back here on this edge.
Yeah, okay.
So what I did was And let me go back here and find it, because I've got the video of the truck going by in the convoy. So I've been asked to identify every truck in this convoy now. So I'm going to be doing that for yet another fella that I've talked to. I have literally been on the phone since we discovered what this was. I've been on the phone for like 3 hours, maybe long. No, it's longer than that.
Yeah, I tried to call you. I tried to
Almost
call you
right.
back. And I couldn't get through.
Yeah, 4 hours. I mean, I've just
I
been
don't doubt that. I tried to call you back before I started this video.
call after call. Hold on. Let's see if I can get this thing to do it now. I wanted to get it for you full size, and I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to show you, like one of the old World War II hearing systems for detecting long-range bombers. That they had the two giant elephant ears, and you stood in between it, and it focused all the sound into your ears.
Oh my God.
I want to build one of those.
I might need one just for hearing. I'm hard of hearing.
Yeah, well, I want one just to, I'd like to have like a lookout up on top of a mountain to watch planes or
There you
other
go.
stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
an LP point, LPOP.
Yeah, and so
Listening
I'd like,
post. That's what we're talking about. Observation post, listening post, and military parlance, my friends. LP's listening post. OP's observation post. LPOP.
yeah,
That's a guy you stick out in a forest who's watching for you.
and a lot of people don't know this, but during World War II, there were a lot of Germans whose job was to get into the United States, and then they would go up on top of the Blue Ridge Mountains above Charlottesville, Virginia, up next to a place called Humpback Mountain, and they would set up there with an HF radio antenna that they would string down through the mountain because it was facing over towards Russia. And they would set up there with these high-powered telescopes, and on a clear day, they could see from there all the way past Charlottesville, all the way past Richmond, and down to Norfolk, and they could see ships coming in from up on top of that mountain because it's 3,000 and some feet in elevation. And so they could see down, and they would do surveillance from on top of that mountain. I was not far from where I was raised.
Oh yeah.
Edit. What do you mean this is not private? Somebody said, "Oh, I changed it to private, and it didn't do it. It is now." So, oh well. We got some extras in here then. So anyway, this is and let me change here on my, because it won't let me. Let me do this, and then maybe it'll let me do that here. Ah, there we go. All right, perfect. Okay, so what I want to do now is get this and zoom in on this for you guys, so everybody gets a good look-see of the trucks, like this. And so this is the first tank truck going by. Now, the interesting thing on this tank truck, this is the scary part about what we're seeing here. This doesn't look like a regular truck either. See all these boxes or whatever this is that's sticking out over here? Okay. So the first truck doesn't look normal. Now, the second truck, this is the scary part about the second truck. It's not that it looks like a fuel truck. It's that it has nothing written on it. Okay. Fuel trucks normally have 2 yellow lights on the top. Okay. There's no yellow lights on this truck. There's also no placard that says fuel or flammable or anything on the outside of it. Okay, it does not. So that makes it a spooky truck in its own right. Then you got another truck. Now see how this one here, you can see the lines here. So there's no, it's not like the front truck that has all the boxes or whatever it is that are in the back of it. Now, this truck has a trailer with it, but he zooms in too much. We can't tell what it is. This is another truck that's got bulging things on the sides again. Okay, and that could be a guy's arm. See what I'm saying right there, but we don't know. And then this is like a command and control truck. Okay, because you see the cable up here for the boom to erect a mast or what have you. See that going back on it right here?
Mm-hmm.
Then this is the head guy, the guy who's in charge of this. And that's why he's in the middle and he's in this van right here. So there's a ranking officer with this convoy. Then we continue on. Now here we've got another truck. Now this truck, I can't tell you what this truck is. I'm
The whole
not
time I was
familiar.
in Russia, Lee, the whole time I was in Russia, I never saw a semi truck like we have over here. I saw trucks like that, and even civilian versions like that, moving stuff around.
Right. It's the boxes on the back that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I
I
got
don't-
that. And
you know.
and where you showed the mast being hid. See, like
Right.
we got a shelter half when I was in the guard that had not a shelter half, a shelter that mounted on the back of our deuce and a half. And we had all that kind of stuff inside our shelter, but we had the mast, and we loaded them up and hoisted antennas. Now the antenna rode on the door outside our vehicle, but we hoisted antennas for we had 3 of them would take with us to do microwave RF transmission. We did microwave relay, so I'm accustomed to seeing masts and things like that with these vehicles. So yeah, that could be a command truck.
Right.
And
Now this one here looks like it has a generator and a positive pressure filtration system on the outside of it. You see that? That box and this here on the front of the cab, on the front of the box.
right,
So that looks like a scrubber to me.
yeah,
Okay.
I can see that.
Then now when we looked at the tanker truck, remember the tanker truck has no writing on it, has no name, no nothing, no placards, and it isn't camouflaged. Okay. Doesn't have stuff all over it. When you get back here to the next tanker truck, this is a little different.
Mm.
See there?
Now,
It's
right
got
now,
different
man,
racks.
it's camouflaged.
Right. And it's camouflaged and it's got a placard on it.
Yeah, it's your chemical quad placard in this.
Right.
Chemical.
See there and see the
So that is their gas. This is not their gas. It's not
right. So and see this has got 2 pipes on the sides here and there's no ladder going up here. It's just handrails to go along. See that? So there's no ladder on this side.
Mm.
It's set way back. The tank is more forward. The wheels are set more back. It's a longer tank. There's no placards. There's no camouflage. There's nothing on it. You get back here to this truck. This one here, the tank sets farther back, or excuse me, farther forward. It's got this big box back here on the back. We don't have that on the other truck. Okay. So we don't have that on the other truck. We don't have this big rack on the truck. The side of it here is totally different. This is a fuel truck. Okay. And you can also see the catwalk that goes across the top of the cab. We didn't have that on the other truck either. Okay. And the exhaust comes out on the front up here. Doesn't come out on the other truck. So the other truck is not a fuel truck. Then you get back here and right behind that, here's the beast.
Yeah.
Right there. So what does it look like to me? It looks like command and control, biological trucks, test stuff, a truck that's full of the chemical, and then and then I guess the 55-gallon drums on the second truck are the second chemical that it needs to be mixed with. You see what I'm saying? It's a small proportion of one compared to the other.
Hmm.
And then right behind the truck that's got the fuel to run the jet engine, you've got the truck that has the jet engine, which is a MiG fighter jet engine.
Mhm.
Okay. Now we can see that it's different in the back end than any other truck because we know it's not a missile truck because there's something behind the fender. There's nothing behind a fender on any missile truck. Also, this box piece here is narrower than the fenders, sets down in between the two.
Yeah,
And then the
anything
jet
behind
engine.
the fender would be fried on a missile truck.
Right, exactly.
Would burn up,
And,
incinerate.
and then here's another command and control. And then here again, looks like some cabling here to be able to winch stuff up. And again, this to me looks like an air filtration, air conditioning system up here with a pre-filter.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it
that
does.
coming-
It does. It's got the fan in it for pumping the air in from outside.
Right.
And run through that. That'll be a HEPA filter probably.
Right,
That van is tightly closed. That's your command. That's where your command center is going to be. That's your mobile
right.
command center. Yeah, we had those when I was in the military. We had mobile command centers, and that thing probably expands out when they park it.
Yeah, but see, it's all command stuff. Now this is comms. See the mass up on the top of it?
Yeah.
So that's the comms truck. But why do you have all this command and control and sensor? And what I think it's for is that they know the exact weather conditions. If they were to put anemometers on those trucks, they'd know the wind speed, they'd know the wind direction, and they'd know exactly where they need to go upwind of it and then release. And they could do that from inside Belarus. Because when you heat this up, that stuff will carry out through the woods for miles. And if you've got a tank full of it, holy shit. You see what I'm saying? Can you imagine how much vapor? So what's the expansion of steam?
Stream.
Steam.
Yeah, it's
When
a
you
lot.
heat
I
it.
don't remember the number off the top of my head, but it's huge.
It's okay. Imagine if this vaporizes like steam.
Well, it's very volatile. It may do more so. It's
Yeah.
volatile, very volatile, and and you're propelling it with a jet engine, so it's going to be hot coming through it, perhaps. But it's
No. The way they do it is, I need to get the other video. Let me get this
It's just
video.
the turbines they're using. They just force it out.
Right. And so what they do is,
Make them out cold, just an expansion then.
right. So
Expanding gas is cool. It's cold.
let me get this video here for you. Switch my account here. Then go back here.
Lee, I'm gonna have to go in a minute. I seriously have to go here in a little bit.
Okay, well, whenever you got to go, buddy, that's fine. You can just drop me off and I'll have at it. So this is what I wanted to show you here.
Yeah, that's it.
So they've got it going in here. Well, it's just 4 nozzles here. See this? So the ring, and it just injects it straight into it. But what they do is, you know how a foam nozzle works, right? It induces air.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So you have a stream of liquid that has your foam concentrate in it.
Yeah. And
Then it goes through a screen that aerates it and injects air in, because the velocity of the stream coming out is drawing vacuum and draws fresh air in. So it then goes through its first layer and its second layer of screen, and it ejects as a high expansion foam. A prime example of that is a Acron Challenger 2 foam nozzle. And it'll make a really wet, streamy foam into a really, really fluffy foam. Okay. This is acting just like a snow gun, whereas there's a small amount of exhaust coming out of the middle of the turbine, but it's taking in air all the way around this housing right here, And
Yeah.
that's cooling that exhaust because it's pulling that fresh air in. And then this is actually being injected into that airstream around the outside, not in the inside.
Hmm.
So you're not burning it off. And so you can put oil, whatever you want, chemical, biological, whatever you want in there and spray it out. And then this is how you can spray it out. And that's if you just wanted to use water. Okay, and that's all on the truck. They just fill it up in the tank. This jet engine, it's just spraying it. And see, this is a different model. The injection nozzles are behind it. So actually I need to probably change that on my here so you guys can see it better. All right, you're drifting off on me.
Yeah, I gotta go, Lee. I gotta go. I gotta get up really up a little bit, but I gotta water my microphones first. So I'm getting desperate here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will let you go, my friend.
All righty. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate
All
it.
right.
You
Thank
only
you
meant to be
kindly.
on here for 30 minutes. Now I'm way over.
All right. Have a good night, my friend.
Well, thank you.
All
All right,
right,
my
see you again.
friends, for my video, my channel. Thank y'all for coming in here. I'm going to end this part. You can go over and watch this, continue to watch this on Lee's channel. So I thank y'all for being here. Go check out Lee's channel. All right. Thank you there, Ernie and Johan.
All right. See you, buddy.
Regina. Talking to all my people here as I'm getting out of here. Chew weather, all the sun. Thank y'all. All the sun says thanks, Lee. Nicole. All right, everyone. Good night. And